This is a very impromptu video. It's New Year's Day here in the UK, and I had really wanted to have this video made and posted for you all by today, but it didn't happen. And it really is a dark and stormy night here in the UK. It's pretty dark outside, hence it's a bit dark in my room. But I really wanted to get this up. Look, I know that because one of my roles, I'm a psychotherapist, but I'm also a family mediator, and I know that this is the time of year when there are most applications go in for divorce. Next week is the week when solicitors receive most applications for divorce. When people have thought, right, that's it, I'm not having another year like last year or the year before. So one of the reasons I started the Rebuild Your Life group was that it's really difficult, whether you applied for the divorce or your partner applied for the divorce. It's a really grueling time to be starting all over again, especially if you've had a long-term marriage, if you've got children, if you live away from friends and family, as many of you do, and especially too if you've been living in an alcoholic or addiction situation or an abusive relationship. There's a degree of post-traumatic stress there, and it's difficult. So I created a number of, if you like, key indicators of how do you set about rebuilding your life. And so I'm just going to quickly go through 8 factors, and then I'm going to do one a week to expand on each one of these points so that you can track how you're doing in terms of rebuilding. Now, it's highly unlikely you're going to do it in 8 weeks anyway, but at least if you've got a roadmap or a blueprint and you know uh, how to gauge things, you know. So it is a new year, and we all need routinely emotional resilience. That is one thing. How emotionally resilient are you? Feeling stuck in the emotional aftermath of a divorce, it takes a lot to get your bearings. So start small. Um, Acknowledge your feelings. I am a big fan, as those of you who tune in regularly will know. I'm a big fan of journaling. Get yourself a journal, um, expressing how you feel. In other words, getting it out of your system, off your chest, out of your system, and actually just putting it on a page helps to discharge um, the weight of and the anxiety and the fear that can be around when your marriage first breaks up. So get a journal and express your thoughts and your feelings, and really you need to have some compassion for yourself. It's not easy to do this, so do you have some patience with yourself, and remember, every step forward is progress. You've got this, and join the Rebuild Your Life group. You will find regular weekly support in that. So I would encourage you to do that. Now, the second factor is money. Getting to a point where you are financially independent. Now, all of you will be in different situations. Those of you who have just split up now, but it can feel like starting over, and it is starting over, especially where money's concerned. But you do need to begin by knowing where you stand. So in that journal, or have some pages that are for working out your financial situation. You do need to track every pound, every dollar, every penny, every cent. And for the next 3 months, be very clear with yourself that you're going to cut out any unnecessary expenses. And you do actually need to have a budget. you need to work it out. So small, consistent actions help to create that. So watch out for the video on how do you get to financial independence. That is really a crucial factor in rebuilding your life. Thirdly, your physical well-being. Now, the the stress of divorce, it varies for different people depending on what resources and whether this was a planned separation or if it was sprung on you and you weren't expecting it. So the impact of it emotionally, it leaves you in a different place. But there is a lot of stress, particularly if you've got children. There's sleepless nights, there's anxiety, there's fear, and all of those things. The stress takes its toll on your body. So you really have to think about and plan self-care. And I don't just mean getting your hair done or doing your nails. I mean having a survival plan. So I will be doing a fuller video on physical well-being and self-care, but start off with factoring in a 10-minute walk every day, and the plan to have some good food for energy and good sleep. And I'll say more about that in the video on physical well-being. The fourth factor is social connection and social support. So, some of you will have become very isolated leading up to this divorce and separation. And you will need to reach out. It's important that you have a support network around. So, even if it's virtual, online, join the Rebuild Your Life support group. But also, it's good to rekindle old friendships. Connection, feeling connected and not so isolated, is healing. And, I would just say, bottom line, don't go through it alone. Reach out and connect with other people, particularly other people who have already been there, done it, and got the t-shirt. So the fifth factor is your parenting. For those of you who have children, divorce is really unsettling for children as well, and it does impact them, and they don't always show. Often they are trying to, be strong and look out for you, but actually they need you to look out for them as well. So I think if you've got children, you need to do a focus on house, home, children, not where am I ever gonna meet somebody else or another relationship. The children need your attention, and I know it's difficult if you've got to get out to work and generate an income and do a lot of things like that, or even move house. But if you take care of yourself, if you remain calm and present, that helps to foster security with the children, and it prevents problems later on. So watch out for the video on parenting. So the sixth factor is your work and career. Um, for many of you, particularly when you've lived in an alcoholic relationship, or a seriously failing relationship over time, you can get so caught up in focusing on the relationship that your career building or prospects kind of gets overlooked and forgotten. So if you're now finding yourself single, you need to give some serious consideration to grow your career post-divorce. So start with some clear goals. Think about upgrading the skills that you've got. Do a skills audit. consider how you would go about networking and what the opportunities might be. But look, one of the things is transitioning, this transition from married to divorced to single is a new chapter, and it might be the best one yet. You know, for many of you, it will be the best one yet. So we will look at that. The seventh element of rebuilding your life is personal fulfillment. I'm not sure who said it, but someone said, and Tony Robbins repeats it, success without fulfillment is not success. And for some of you, you may actually be very successful in your career, but are you feeling fulfilled? Well, if you're going through a divorce, you know, it's a time of uncertainty, but divorce is a chance to rediscover you, because many of us in long-term unhappy marriages lose ourselves. So you have to be prepared to try new things. But you know, the other factors that I've mentioned before, including the self-care, really, it's first things first. Watch out for the video on how to uh, develop a personal fulfillment plan. And then, you know, when you get all of these building blocks in place, you will get to a point in time, but I would say take your time to think about new relationships and how ready are you for a new relationship. So I will be doing a video with all the building blocks of readiness for a new relationship. So look out for that. Um, you know, you have to start with the relationship with yourself first. You have to love yourself first. You have to be happy with yourself first. You need to know and understand about healthy boundaries. You have to have a sense of okayness and self-acceptance. So the building any new relationship will be about you being okay with you first. So that's the 8 basic building blocks of a rebuilding. So I'm going to leave you for now with that, and don't forget to fill in the quiz. You'll get the link underneath here to measure where are you in the rebuilding your life stakes, and you know, you'll be able to see what are the areas that you particularly need to pay attention to. And do join the Rebuild Your Life group and see the weekly videos on each building block. It won't always be like this. Just bye for now, and Happy New Year. Bye for now.